number one reason why kids leave camp and don't ever come back is because they've been bullied. This is really a tragedy, and our role in preventing this is critical. The role of the counselor, again, is like the CEO of the company in identifying the personality traits and the roles within the bunk to make sure everybody has a good summer.
We may build one girl up. Inadvertently, never on purpose, we may lower another girl's power or esteem in the group, her value in the group. As a leader, you have to be really careful not to let that happen. You have to be really careful that everybody in your bunk feels valued, feels equal, feels like they can have power, and certainly doesn't feel like you're on the side of only the girls who are powerful or popular. Watch the videotape for signs, too, of how bullies try to get on the good side of adults and those in charge.
While it's possible, it's not usually simply the stranger who sneaks into the camp in the middle of the night. Or it's not usually the smelly, creepy-looking guy who lives in a town away from where the child lives. It's usually a person who is known to the child and uses that relationship in order to get what they want. It can be a neighbor, it can be a relative, it can be an older friend, and it can even be someone who's in the role of helping others.
Why don't children tell? Well, there are many reasons. They may be too young to understand what's happening and that is abusive behavior. They may not even have the language or the words or have ever talked about their body in that way to anybody. They may have been threatened that if they tell, they'll be harmed, maybe kicked out of camp, maybe their family members would be harmed, or maybe they personally would be harmed. The child may fear that he or she will be blamed and seen as having wanted or initiated these behaviors, even though they were a victim.
Deep, meaningful conversations are extremely dangerous. You need to remember that problems didn't develop overnight, and we're not going to resolve them overnight. When we spend too much time talking about something with somebody, the person who's talking about these things re-experiences and relives and gets flooded by it. As the counselor, if somebody starts to share something hard, and this is very, very important, we need to be able to help them contain it. We can't let them just get flooded. So saying something to the effect of, wow, you've really spoken about this a lot tonight, but it really is time to go to bed now. I'll be happy to talk about it in the afternoon, is very, very important.
And get a consultation. It can be incredibly difficult to determine what is developmentally appropriate behavior and what might be something more and related to a deeper psychological issue. That can be hard even for a professional, and that is certainly not your role. Your role is to determine if in fact this is something I should be handling on my own. Now, certain things are easy to determine. Like if something is an issue that violates the basic camp policy, such as smoking, bringing in inappropriate material, lighting fires or fireworks, those are things that get bumped up.
You are a role model. The inspiration and motivation that you'll provide your campers will come more from the way you act than anything that you can tell them. It is really incredible that most of us who become stellar counselors remember counselors of our own who are really amazing, amazing people. So it's very important for you to recognize that you're going to be watched by the children in your care for every nuance of your behavior.
Think back for a second and think about the best counselor that you ever had in camp when you were a camper. Think about her for a second. Bring her into your memory. What were those qualities that made her the best? Think about it. I would venture to say that she was probably positive. You got the feeling that she liked being with you. She didn't spend a whole lot of time with her friends. She participated in activities with you, and she was a really positive person. How did she make you feel as a camper?
He also refuses to change into a bathing suit, so he hasn't gone swimming or to the lake all summer long.
The girls all burst out into laughter. At her, not with her.
We all hate when you are referee.
His face is beet red, and he is totally losing it.
The girls look towards their counselor to guide them. What would you do if this happened to you?